Hello friends, and welcome to PPL Week 4. We are up against the Birmingham Spritzee, coached by Onesie Bennett, and this is kind of late because Onesie and I played it really late. So we're just going to jump right into this, what you're seeing on the screen. It was played on Showdown due to time constraints and various reasons. Onesie was moving, so we didn't really have a good schedule that lined up. So I'm just going to go over the mons and we're going to go through the battle. First things first, we have Araquanid. If I forgot to mention it last week, I don't think I did though. We dropped Palisand and Talonflame for Araquanid and Gligar. Now, in addition to that, next week, week 5, Araquanid will become our second Z user since we dropped Talonflame. We were not allowed to make 3 changes in a single week, so we made 2 this week in picking up the 2 mons, and next week adding a Z Crystal to our Araquanid will be our 3rd change, leaving us with 1 more for the season. I don't know if we'll use it, but we have it. Anyway, Liquidation Splash Plate, Soak Toxic Rest, very bulky, enough speed for no speed Clefable. I 2-hit KO Clefable. I have enough investment to OHKO a 0-0 Mega Gallade after rocks, and just in general does a lot of damage. Next is the Wincon, or primary Wincon I should say, is a Mega Glalie. It is Adamant, Double Edge, Spikes, Earthquake, Ice Shard, Double Edge, OHKOs or 2-hit KOs, everything on his team, like in his draft, aside from the Heatran and like Eviolite Sneasel, but Gallade dies, Fizdef Seismitoad is 2-hit KO'd by Adamant Double Edge. Stuff like Vileplume and Komala, Clefable, all that stuff just drops. Spikes to help me chip things down and get them in range for stuff like Comfy. Comfy is there. It is a defensive set, allowing me to switch into things like Poison Jabs from Sneasel and Mega Gallade, and it has 84 special attack and a choice specs. With that investment, I 2-hit KO 0-0 Mega Gallade, and because of Keldeo and sort of Keldeo's natural bulk, I am expecting a very little, 0 to minimal investment in bulk on the Gallade. Comfy is mainly there for his offense. I don't know why I sighed really heavily. The only real checks on his team to Comfy were Vileplume and Heatran, and he opted into bringing both. I guess I should mention Glalie kind of wins if Sneasel and Gallade are taken care of, which Comfy does, and if the Heatran is not Scarfed, which I can scout for with my 2 water types. Uxie is standard utility, Knock, Foul Play, U-Turn, Colbur Berry, Rocks. Stack Attack is Trick Room to attack, Trick Room Dual Stab with Rockium and Substitute. Substitute for whatever reason, I forget what. I think it was to dodge Sleep Powders. If like Vileplume came in, I didn't have to fear a Sleep Powder. Keldeo. Keldeo Scarf with a tech move, Endeavor I believe. So he brought stuff that I kind of expected. Komala was a huge surprise. I didn't even think that thing was coming. I figured that would be a Clefable in that slot and maybe a Salamence instead of the Heatran slot. And that's sort of the team I expected him to bring. I don't know what to really see from this. The general game plan was to get up hazards if I could, especially try and sneak Spikes up, especially since he brought Vileplume and Komala, 2 things that I think I could spike up on very easily, and Comfy, and set up for either Comfy sweeping, Stacka sweeping, or Keldeo sweeping. I had to check if the Heatran was Scarfed. So we're going to click refresh, and Showdown's not going to work. Oh god. What's going on? Okay. Oh god. Help. So he leads Vileplume. I set up rocks as he misses Sleep Powder. I don't really care. I'm gonna knock off which is kind of nice for me, as I'm going to let my Uxie be the sleep fodder. That's whatever. I get to hard into Glalie, terrified of a Sludge Bomb coming in on my face. That was not something I really wanted to take, but he ends up opting into hard Kamala, and that was weird. So he takes 94%, or he takes 12%, heals up to 94. I'm going to double edge as he protects, and I don't know if he got lucky or I got lucky. We'll let you guys be the judge of that one. But he lives, and based on the investment he told me, that was near a minimum roll. Like, it had to be one of the bottom 4 rolls, because he was like max HP and like 200 and like 52 defense or something. And so that takes 97 minimums, and he took 98.8. So I don't know, but what this does do as he clicks Wish is this was kind of a big turn. I saw him toss a Wish in the air, and I figured he was either going to click Protect or go into Seismitoad. Now both those options are because if he clicks Protect, he can save this for either as a sack later, or he could sack this off and make me take more double edge recoil, or he could keep this Kamala as a sack later and go into his Seismitoad. Seismitoad takes about 50 minimum, I think it's like 55 or something minimum if he's Fizz Def, and then the Wish would heal him back up, and I would be taking a whole boatload of recoil. So expecting a switch, he could have also made a cheeky double into like Gallade or Heatran here, or maybe even did a suicide spin, but regardless, I expected him to make a safer play and not just aggressively spin in my face. So I get up a layer of spikes, which is awesome. I click double edge now, knowing that it kills the Kamala. It does 21, which tells me that this Heatran is likely to be 0-0, or very low investment. As you can see, I go into my Araquanid instead of my Keldeo, scouting for things like, I didn't know if he was Scarf. I didn't know if he was, what's the word I was looking for? He could have been like Power Herb, Solar Beam, because I didn't see leftovers, so, or he could have been Shuka, which is all 3 great reasons why I didn't want to leave in my Glalie in front of this thing. I figured I could take rocks, like Glalie was still healthy enough that I can come in on rocks at least once, and Araquanid was very safe. It checked the Will-O-Wisp play, the Toxic play, the Fire Blast play, the Rocks play, and Power Herb, Solar Beam, Flash Cannon, whatever this thing wanted to do. I didn't think there was a move that this Heatran was going to use this turn that was even going to touch me, unless he was like casually Banded Stone Edge. So I made the terrible mistake of pausing, clearly. And hopefully I can cut this out. Help. Help. We're going to click. Next. We're gonna just let it run. I'm sorry about this, but Showdown's being strange and I need to get this uploaded. So I click Toxic, expecting him to switch. He does not. I click Liquidation this time, expecting him to either stay in or try and make a play into Kamala to spin, as the game freezes again. Oh. Fun fact, I clicked Liquidation and the Kamala dropped, as you could see right over here. So, because this is being super weird, I'm just going to let this run. I let my Splash Plate go. I don't know what the Seismitoad could have done to me, so I just clicked Toxic. I let him Poison Jab me as I go to bed. I didn't, and that lets me scout out that he has Poison Jab. That makes me think he might be some sort of like Assault Vest set to deal with the Keldeo and the Comfy. He brings in a Gallade, which is terrifying, and so I go hard into Comfy because I know I can live any hit. As he Zens, I go for a Draining Kiss. It does 55, like I said, it does 50 minimum, and the healing lets me live a Poison Jab. I'm going to Training Kiss again so that I can live this Rock Switch in, and I get a clean 9. I do 10 to the Vileplume, which tells me that it has some Spadef investment. I go into my Uxie, I'm not 100% sure why I did this, but I'm sure there was a good reason. As I wake up this turn, I'm a little confused as to why. I guess on the turn I woke up, he expected me to go for a Psychic, so he went hard into his Sneasel. He knocks me off. I decide to sack my Uxie. I go for a Secret Sword, as he didn't really have a great switching. He goes into the Vital Plume. I decide, this was tough, and I can't believe I just clicked pause again, but I need to talk about this turn. I didn't know what he wanted to do, and I figured the best course of action was to hope he killed me, because he could have clicked Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain or whatever, and I would have died, or he could have put something to bed. But either way, this was my best play, to just sort of sack this, go into my Glalie, because everything was in Glalie range now after the hazards. Even if the Heatran was Shuka, Seismitoad died at the range of health that it was at, and Gallade got sneaked. It got sharded, and I didn't expect him to have Sneak, as Sneak was kind of random, and I figured he'd be like SD or Bulk Up. Considering that he had Zen and P-Jab, I didn't expect him to also then have Sneak. So down goes the Seismitoad. Here comes the Heatran, and I click the wonderful Earthquake button. He has Shuka Berry, it doesn't matter. He brings in the Gallade. The Gallade is at 11%. I go for Ice Shard. The Gallade drops, and in comes the Vital Plume. I know I should live a max HP double edge here, and he affects Force Sleep, but we do knock him out, and it is a 4-0. Now, I'm sorry for all the showdown replay issues, but we're probably just going to leave them in, because I need to get this out, and it's already kind of late. But good game to Onesie. Unfortunately, from talking to him after the battle, because of all the moves and things like that, like in IRL moves, not like Pokemon moves, some of his sets were out of whack. Like he actually had a Scarf Heatran at one point, and the Kamala actually didn't have Rapid Spin on this team, and he had Sneak Gallade instead of something else, and there was just a lot of changes that kind of affected how he played. But it was a very busy week for him, so he didn't feel too bad, and we had to play, so I'm not gonna say like I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but it wasn't anybody's fault. It just kind of happened that his moves got messed up and he was too busy, and I don't know, it's a lot of things. But in other news, next week we play RTK. Later this week there'll be NPL stuff, so be sure to check that stuff out too. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.